Joe, weren't you involved in that incident with Sinatra in Jersey where a local company brought in their own amp racks and DC'd and took out all the 10-inch speakers out of the entire rig?
I probably reconed them.
And the guys had to recone them in a local high school the next day.
That was me. That was me. I've gone out there and reconed in the field.
Yeah. Reconing speakers in the field.
In the field.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work.
Well, hell, a buddy of mine's an old Shoko guy and tells a story about having to rappel from the top of the array, 70 feet above the ground, changing speakers out in the rig. And the owners of the company at that time, who wanted to keep the industry secret of what their system was, wanted them to have a tarp up there covering it. I'm 70 feet in the air, motherfucker.
Well, that worked well until the story is Claire got a hold of one of their cabinets and de-engineered it and put a Claire Brothers sticker inside of it.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, and it's true as I sit here. When Claire Brothers came out with their i4 system, their brand new line array PA system, the very first show they did was at Radio City, and it was there for 2 nights. So the first night they had a stack sitting on the side, and me and the guys got the screwdriver, got that little star bit, we opened it up, and I put a C Factor sticker on the inside, closed it back up. After I took measurements of everything, see what was going on in there. But at some point, somebody saw that sticker and shit their pants.
And the phone rang.
I hope so.
Everybody dissect everything, right, people? Remember with the Ford and they had that little Toyota? We were in Detroit.
That's right. Me and Jones did a State of the Division meeting. That was GM.
That was GM.
That was GM, and they had a Toyota up on the lift, all taken apart
like
with
a
the white
surgical room. It was a lot of them.
Yeah.
They were dissecting those bad boys up there.
Yeah, because that was the only time that they ever let us in the engineering department.
Yeah.
Remember, we saw what the new Corvette would look like 6 years into the future.
That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah. That was fascinating how we learned how they destroyed their own company,
Yeah.
Yeah, GM by not changing the body style every year.
I'm going to drive by it on Friday. One of the biggest assembly plants in North America, Lordstown GM.
It's closed. They shut it down.
It's another company now on it. They're going to make that electric truck.
Oh.
Yeah, they're making electric cars. They're electric pickup there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith, I don't know. There's a lot. You're a Michigan guy, man. You know plants. But that Lordstown factory is like one of the only places in the country where you drop off a roll of steel on one side and you spit out a car on the other side.
On the other, yeah.
And the only thing they're delivering is windshield, rubber, and maybe whole engines. But
when we were in there, man, it was just forever. That place was.
It's a fucking mile, at least.
And we were looking at the workstations. There was workstations where the people's chair was like out of the conversion van chairs.
Yeah.
Propped up at the workstations.
Yeah, factory. And there's a point where the downstairs where they build the chassis and the upstairs where they put the bodies together, where the one comes out and it comes together and boom, and it's a car.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass. But the reason that Jones and I were there at all, we were doing the State of the Division meetings, alerting everyone that they're getting fired. We're moving it to Mexico, moving it to China. That's why we were there.
Yeah, we did all the we did everything in the 90s when everybody's job was being sent overseas into Mexico.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, did LTV Steel all the time, their corporate stuff, and they're like, well,
pack it up, boys.
We got our man in Washington talking about steel business with Bill Clinton and his administration, and they told him how bad it was. We could lose a lot of jobs, and his administration looked at us and said, well, I guess we got to retrain those steel workers.
Yeah, all that shut down. Well,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
guys, this is a good time. I'm going to do it again Sunday night, man.
All right,
I'll
Pete,
try and turn
Rob,
up.
Susie.
Keith, great
Hey.
meeting you.
Good meeting you,
You
Keith.
too.
Good to see you, Keith.
Susie, great having you.
Keith, we got to hear your story.
Oh, which one is that?
We got to hear some stories from you, Keith. Michigan.
Oh, well, I'm
yeah.
pretty average. I'm pretty average. I'll come on again. You guys will see me again, but
Please.
I don't have anything exciting. That's,
Oh,
I mean,
sure you
I-
do. You live in Michigan, for God's sake.
Pete had made that comment about, being committed and dedicated to taking his whole family to Hellfest. And me and my wife, we like to travel as much as we can. And we actually flew to England for Ozzy and Judas Priest in Birmingham.
Nice.
And unfortunately, Ozzy, that's when he basically, it was the beginning of the end for him. They canceled the show, and I mean, we held on to the tickets for over a year, and then they finally canceled the tour altogether.
Have you seen any of this Motley Crue footage of this current tour?
Boy,
the singer is
Okay, here we go.
Oh man.
So I do have a story on the whole Motley Crue fiasco. Me
Let's
and my
hear it.
wife and my childhood buddies all went to the final show in California. It was expensive. It was a great trip. It was memories, bonding time, everything that went with it. Because I went with the guys I grew up with, and then they turn around and do this shit. So
Welcome to rock and roll.
obviously, we did not attend the final Motley Crue show.
This current footage, it's rough, man. That singer's chirping like a wounded parrot, man. He's just, you know.
Hey, if any of you guys were, doing the 80s thing back when, hair metal was it. I mean, they say Poison is the top band on that stadium tour. Everybody's saying that, not just people like me, everybody.
I'm waiting until Striper comes back around. I know Al's going to go with me. Al Jones loves Striper.
Hey, Rob, they're on tour. I'm going to see him in November in a little small town 45 minutes from where I live.
Nice, man.
There's always a lot of kick-ass shows here in New York City. If you ever want to come up here, man, we'll take the time to go out.
No.
Our way around. Come on up, man.
No. Hey, Pete, I
Come
saw
on up. We'll call the
Striper
pot delivery guy and get some New York City pizza. Go sit on somebody else's stoop and smoke.
I saw the Hell
You
with the
come into
Devil
New York
tour at
City, I'll
Music
come
Hall.
down.
Can I bring my carry?
Youngster. They paced me to the wall in that place. It was so loud.
Yeah, that's one thing that to hear you guys talk about that stuff, especially being PA guys, how loud it really is. And I actually wear earplugs to the show, every show I go to now.
Alex just did something last Friday and Saturday. There was some electro show with a full-size PA at Forest Hill Stadium. And what, Alex? It was ridiculous, huh?
Well, out there, you can't turn it up too loud because houses are like right behind the bleachers. It's Forest Hills, man.
Yeah, Keith, the new rigs. I mean, it could turn up forever. There's no end to the.
Well, they've made them so compact and powerful, and they all sound great. We went to downriver Detroit last weekend and seen Slaughter and Stephen Pearcy, and the sound was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It just for small 1,500, 2,000 covered venue. The sound was fantastic.
On the last 20
That's
years,
good to
it's
hear.
come a long way.
Yeah.
Come a long way, man.
Everything is pretty much great now.
Yeah, it used to be a real crapshoot from town to town. And the other thing too is the guy behind the mixing console. It's a crapshoot as well. You get a guy that knows what he's doing. You have a great night. Get a guy that's maybe doesn't know what he's doing.
Louder.
It's definitely a mixed bag. It's funny. A buddy of mine is the tour manager for that Motley Crue tour, and we'll watch this.
Get on TikTok and look some of that up. It's rough, man.
I saw some of it. I saw some events. Jesus Christ, he looked like the most bored person in the whole world. You know, besides the fact that he's just phoning you in. I mean, you're Motley Crue, bro. Hit the treadmill, man. Come on.
Okay, okay. Now I got another story for you guys.
Let's hear
You
it.
said Vince. So me and my buddies and my wife and their wives went to Monsters on the Mountain, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee last year, and I physically watched Vince fall off the stage and break them ribs.
Ouch.
I watched that happen.
Broken
Oh,
ribs.
shit. I saw that footage.
Trust me.
I saw that footage.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But you know what? The band never missed a beat. The show must go on.
The
They
band.
finished, played, bowed. Oh yeah, the band's
should just
great.
get a new singer. Trade him out. Fuck the guitar players.
Yeah, that
You
drummer,
know,
that
yeah.
Zoltan Bathory, that drummer that's on in Vince's band is just amazing.
Yeah, that's great. How was Stephen Piercy?
Stephen Piercy was better than expected. I was a huge Rat fan in the 80s, and he was
I
not
love the
pushing the
Rat.
vocals, which definitely made a huge difference for him this time around, because we seen the last incarnation of Rat 3-4 years ago, and he was really pushing it. This time he's kind of tuned himself down a little bit, and it was great. It sounded good. And I mean, he played all Rat tunes. He didn't play any solo stuff at all.
Good.
But,
That's what the people want to hear, man.
That's
Rather
what the
Rat.
people want to hear. Yeah.
So you're the guys making money today, real money. They're in demand.
Yeah, because the money in the music business now is 100% in performance, man. You know, you got to get your ass out there. You got to get on the stage, and you got to do it, and you got to sell tickets. You know.
And it's hard to see these guys with costs being so high. You know, I mean, I've heard anywhere, you know, them tour buses are $1,000 a day. Well, shit, what's that shit really cost at the end of the road, you know?
Well, it used to be the record companies would float all these bands, and there was a lot of money to go around. It's very different now that to have a motor coach on the road and be able to pay for hotels and just to fuel a motor coach in a 24-foot truck, man, you got to be able to be selling some tickets or have somebody with deep pockets that's backing you. It's not like it used to be. You really got to be able to draw some people. You know, we have a tour that just left. It's leaving tomorrow for a month, a hip hop act from Brooklyn called Joey Badass, where they're going out on a bus. They're taking our stuff for a month. And, but those are like festivals where they have 8 or 10 of those wild hip hop bands play. You know, who went out with them last time? Flatbush Zombies, you know, acts we've never heard of, but there's a lot of urban youth and urban, packs that, you know, like this music and come by the thousands to see it.
Yeah, I mean, Keith, I do one tour a year, and it's only 3 weeks, and that's my maximum of being away from home. But you know, it's 100 of us on the road. You know,
And you're not sleeping on the bus. You're not on the bus, right?
Well, we do a lot of fly dates, but I'm on the bus when we're on the East Coast, because when you do Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, DC, Atlanta, you know, that from Chicago, you know, that's all bus stuff. You know,
You know, it's funny. Me and Alex did a show 3 weeks ago that was Sting.
Oh yeah.
Out on Long Island. It was this guy's 70th birthday party, so they hired Sting.
Get that fucking Sting guy over
And
here
it
to
was
sing on my
Sting
party.
playing to 70 people.
Yeah.
Sting playing to next to nobody, playing all of his biggest songs.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
while
very high-end.
everyone chewed their food. And kept clinking along with their glasses and talk about Tony's retirement. Yeah.
But it was odd,
Tony was a good fellow.
Yeah.
such an old star like that playing to just such a few people. And I'm sure he probably got paid, you know, 250, 300,000.
Oh yeah, and there's no way that was the worst. Yeah,
Played an hour and a half. I'm sure he got the big money for coming and playing that shit.
sure.
And smiling and
I
It
did
was
a
a
gig.
good gig. Me and Alex were taking it easy.
I
Oh,
did one out there at Steven Spielberg's house, and it was his pool house. I never even saw the main house. The gig was at the pool house, and it was Jerry Seinfeld opening up for Tony Bennett for this little party they're having. The couple table full of people.
You know, Alex
You know.
recently spent a week out at Paul McCartney's house. Right, Alex? A little movie screening at McCartney's place.
How was Paul's
Must
house?
have been nice, man.
Wait. First off, is that modern style or more of a contemporary?
we never saw the
traditional?
house.
See what I'm saying? I never saw the
Like
house.
Spinal Tap.
They
You
built
never-
the theater over the pool.
the technicians never see the real house.
Yeah, you saw the pool house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The theater was built over the pool.
hello.
Wow.
And what movie was it the screening for? Was it for Paul's movie?
was for the
Not a conference
documentary
call with
for
some old
Disney.
buddies.
Get Back.
Get-
It was a
Alright.
special edited
Bye.
cut by Peter Jackson for his party. Narrated by Peter Jackson.
And that was just for his party.
Yes.
That must have been fun. That must
Did you
have been
make it?
unique.
Did you make a copy or no?
No.
They frown on that. And how'd you lose the gig?
You know, just so
What was
you
it,
guys know, I'm 53 years old. I've known Pete since I was 18 years old. I was the front of house guy for his band when I was 18 years old, and
That's true.
these guys were in their early to mid 20s by then. And boy, these guys were doing stuff that was really outlandish at the time. Pete has a very good book that he's written, the Malachi book.
Yep.
It's a good read. Highly
Keith,
suggested read.
Christ.
it's true that Rob was
I'm at
18,
retirement age.
and we were all complete assholes to the
Yeah.
10th degree. And I actually left Rob at a bus station in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he only had enough money to get to Nashville. I was like,
It took me 2
You
days
know?
to get home. That was when I got fired from War Child. They fired me. They don't want me.
Yeah, and back then, when we fired someone, you know what I would do? I would pull the truck over and I'd say, "All right, you're fired. Get out." You know, it would just get out. One time I pulled over, true story, in Alligator Alley, and this fucking guitar tech would not shut the fuck up. Man, you guys shut the fuck up. I pulled that truck over in the middle of the night. I pulled the truck over. I walked to the back. I opened the back of the truck up. I grabbed his luggage, and I threw it over that fence that keeps the alligators from walking onto the highway. And he gets out of the truck. He's like, "What?" I said, "I told you, shut the fuck up." I got back in the truck and we left him there. Yeah.
Pete worked for this band War Child that these guys were so hardcore that they would run a 350 motor until the motor went bad, wherever it went bad. And they would rebuild the 350 from the block up in a parking lot.
On the
I watched
side
these
of the
guys
road.
do it once in a parking lot. We were there for a day and a half, and sure enough, man, these guys had the tools to take this thing all the way apart. New pistons.
Go rent a
used
cherry
the crank.
picker, pull the engine out, go buy a new engine, put the engine in, and let's get
And they
down the
just
road at
reused the
50
heads
miles
in
an
the
hour.
block, but very impressive to watch these guys have enough tools and the know-how to completely take the 350 motor apart, very primitive circumstances, and put it all the way back together, and finally just eventually drive away.
Like
Leaving
nothing happened.
Leaving nothing but an oil stain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hardcore looking back at it, man.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Changing a motor on the side
How
of the road.
did we live through it?
I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Fucking
And then my
crap.
friend Alex here, I've known almost as long as Pete. I did my first gig with Alex 33 years ago, something like that. And Alex is the reason that I work at C Factor. If Alex didn't work there, I wouldn't work there. No,
Yeah, Mr.
plenty
Jones
other
is quite
places I
the
could work.
Wile E. Coyote.
Wild
Super genius.
Coyote. Acme,
Coyote.
it's my stuff.
All right, guys. Next
Right,
Sunday,
guys.
man.
If I'm not working Sunday, I'll turn up.
That'd be great. Susie, great to meet
See
you.
you
Glad
all.
you were here. Keith, good to meet you, brother.
Keith, you
You
did
too.
have stories.
I got some stories. I've seen some shit too. I got more stories myself.
And we're gonna hear them.
You
Joe
will.
King, great to see you, man.
Joe King, it is great to see you.
Joe King.
I'm still kicking pretty fucking hard.
Apparently.
What the hell are you
Used to
doing in
be.
Dallas? You're a Yankee.
All right,
I'll tell you
guys.
what, fuck that
Let's hear
cold
it.
shit.
That cold?
Let me rephrase that. Fuck that cold shit.
I've had my last New York winter. Let that be said. All right, guys. Be good, man.
All right, guys.
Have a
Take it
Good.
easy.
Nice to
Night,
meet you guys.
everybody.
All right. Take it easy.